the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, well, the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Boston Scott, his first carry. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Now the former Sooner, this is Rodney Anderson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Throw from Dalton, taken in by Eifert. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Right there, 56. Squeeze, double.
3rd down, a shot here from Dalton. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, that puts them in that position.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Mayfield off the play fake. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Cleveland. 61 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Zone. I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Mayfield on play action. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a run with Anderson. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course. Pretty nice effort.
And Dalton to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Let's put that team on the clock.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he's wrapped up. Taken down, back at the 25. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So he gets an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And how happy is he that he's able to get that second chance so quickly after the first miss? Gets his confidence back up, and who knows, they may need him for an even bigger kick later in the game.
Come on, fellas.
But that seems a little devil-may-care there, doesn't it? They gave up 3 points, but how about them coming right back and putting themselves in a position to get points of their own?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run. Anderson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. On 2nd and 9, Dalton, and he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Myles Garrett in there for sack number 22 on the year, and folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton here from the gun. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Mayfield. Going for Metcalf on the deep. It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Downfield, offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw on second down. Mayfield nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Well, this defensive unit certainly picked a great time to make a stand. Back-to-back sacks, starting with first and goal. I have to believe that they'll continue to bring the pressure on third down.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sand. Jannard Avery make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Bengals on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Got his man, it's Eifert. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Hurry! Mike 52.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield is going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. DK Metcalf. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct, and how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Throwing, Dalton, and he's got a noon one. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Complete to the right side, it's Eifert. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. He was looking for a Nunwa there, and it's 3rd and short. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from they look to throw on 3rd with Dalton toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Bullock will put this one through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
The holding penalty negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Switch up, switch up. Hey, Mike 52. My turn.
Here's Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
A good pickup there, a 22. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now Mayfield. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mayfield with it once more. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Darquez Denard there defensively.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Final play of the half, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. It's brought in by Harris. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Mayfield now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Now Mayfield running left on the option. Stepping up, he's going to keep taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. counter now. It's Anderson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On third down, Dalton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton. Anunu's got it, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
3rd down from the gun. Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Mayfield now. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The throw over the middle, taken in.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Mayfield off the play fake. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Anxious moments there on the fake, but they do get just enough to pick up the first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
Get him, boys. Yeah.
You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Ross on the return. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw here, Dalton to the left side here for Eifert. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Here's Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there and a first down. Andy Dalton now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. And Dalton to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to float this one. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 49 yards. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The first down throw coming for Dalton. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And with a penalty flag down, they'll finally get him down. And now this becomes a very important call. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. He gets it complete to Harris. They call it no gain there on the first down play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. 12 yards there and a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
2nd and goal from the 1. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Looking in end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it's 3rd and goal. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Cincinnati.
1st and 10 for Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Let's go.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. Screen play, Anderson. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Another chance for Dalton. And Anderson's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. This will be Dalton again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. It's do or die for Dalton. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. He's going to float this one deep right. And this will be caught at the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I